Why orthodontics? Why should you pick orthodontics? How do you prepare for an application to get into residency in orthodontics? What are the schools you should apply to? How do you prepare for your interviews? What are the questions? How do you put your list together for rank lists? All these questions and more will be answered as we talk to student doctor who just matched in ortho. Stay tuned. This is Dr. Darwin. Thanks for coming on to another episode of Ask Dr. Darwin. We talk about getting into dental school, getting into residency, and then life as a new dentist. Guys, be sure that you are continuing to share and comment down below on these episodes. This content is being shared and by you so that people like yourself and your colleagues can have some tips and advantages about getting in and navigating the getting into residency process. Also, this episode of Ask Dr. Darwin is being brought to you by Get Into Dental Residency Challenge. This will be a 4-day live event that helps you get some tips and strategies and learn how to navigate the residency application process. For more details, go to the link down below. Check that link out down below. And we want you to join the challenge coming up. Let's jump in. Doc, please introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourself for those of us that may not know you and are meeting you for the first time.
For sure. So, hi, everybody. My name is Mikey Pyevich, but I go by Mikey. I'm a current fourth year at UT Health San Antonio. I'm originally from Bettendorf, Iowa, which is a town in Iowa on the Mississippi River on the Iowa-Illinois border. I was born and raised in Iowa, decided to come down to Texas for dental school, and it's been a great decision. And yeah, as Dr. Darwin just said, I'm starting orthodontic residency next year, so I'm super stoked about that.
And we will share a little bit later where you're going to be going, the program that you got selected and matched to, and also when we talk about that, we'll share a little bit about the program and things that you're really excited about. There's a lot of things that go into getting prepared for the application. So let's start off with that. So share with us how and when you started preparing your application for ortho.
So I don't know if my situation is necessarily unique, but I have always known since I was a little kid that I wanted to be a dentist, but like around middle school, specifically an orthodontist. So I kind of came into dental school with the idea that orthodontics is what I wanted to pursue. So with that mindset, I hit the ground running as a first year, made sure I kept my grades up, made sure I tried to get involved with the Orthodontic Association here at UT San Antonio. I got involved with research. So I did all the things I could to make sure I kept my, path in the straight and narrow to become an orthodontist in the future. So I really took like I said earlier, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I really took that to heart and made sure that every day I did a little something to get to my end goal.
Yeah, and your situation is a little bit unique because not everyone listening, watching knows immediately before starting dental school that they want to do ortho or if they even want to specialize. But if you do, one of the first steps is to get involved, right? Like you said, get involved with the local dental society at your dental school, get involved with the people and the faculty. And if you have an ortho program at your school, even better, get involved early because like you said, it's a marathon. There are a lot of things that you want to do before, right, Doc? Before you start this application. That is part of the application, but you're going to need a lot more things than just a decision that you want to do ortho to help you complete and fill out your application. So let's talk about after you've pretty much had an idea that you wanted to do ortho, how did you prepare to like investigate and explore different programs and tell us how many programs you ended up applying to and why? Hey everyone, it's Dr. Darwin. Just want to take a quick break from this episode and hope that you are enjoying it. First thing I want to ask is, did you know that a large majority of the individuals like you who watch these episodes are not subscribed to the channel, to the YouTube channel? Nevertheless, we want to say thank you for watching and continuing to share these videos and episodes with others. Next, I want to say is subscribe. Yes, please hit the subscribe button so that you get these notifications each time these episodes are released. Last is I wanted to connect with those of you who are seeking to become an advanced dentist and specialist. And I invite you to our next event called the Get Into Dental Residency Challenge. This is a special 4-day event that will give you direct access to the mistakes that you want to avoid when you're applying to residency programs, and also the 8 steps that you also want to avoid so that you do not have an unsuccessful application submission. The information that we will be covering over those 4 days will be some of the tips and strategies that I teach in my one-on-one and group coaching trainings with clients who are continually and successfully being matched into and selected into high-profile residency programs here in North America. So if you're pursuing or aspiring to get into dental residency this application cycle, this challenge is for you. Check out the link below to receive more details and join the challenge. And also, I would encourage you to enroll in the challenge via the VIP experience. The VIP experience gives you actually access to a 1-hour Q&A session every day of the challenge before we actually get started with the challenge. And it guarantees me to answer your specific questions that you and other VIP experience members have on a daily basis. So I'll see you in the Get Into Dental Residency Challenge, and let's get back to this episode.
So the best source of information, in my opinion, is the class above you. So when I was a third year and was starting to think about applying, I always asked the people in the class above me, the current fourth years at that time, for their advice. There was, I think, 4 or 5 of them that matched into orthodontic residencies. So they were obviously a wealth of information. So having talked to them through Orthodontic Club and getting their phone numbers and stuff, I was kind of told that, the average person applies the 2025 programs. Again, I have no idea if that's true or not, but that's what they told me. So I kind of took that to heart. I took it straight from the horse's mouth. So yeah, so I that's how I started preparing. And I ended up applying to around that same, I think it was like the 25-ish mark. I don't remember exactly. And the reason I applied to that many schools was because I really wanted to cast a wide net. I've wanted to be an orthodontist. I've had this goal for so long that I didn't want to wait any longer. Residency for 2 or 3 years is already long enough for me. I didn't want to take another year as a gap year if I didn't have to. So I'd rather cast again a very wide net to make sure I got in the first attempt. Also, I took into account, the different locations in the country. I didn't really see myself going up north unless it was for me to go back home to the Midwest. So I applied to mostly Midwestern schools, Southern schools, and like Southeastern schools. I did apply to a few in the Northeast that I knew people in the past who had gone to my dental school had gotten into. So I did take that into consideration, but location and price as well was something that was important to me.
So those are great points because there are people listening and watching that may want to stay close to home or where they're from. They may have a a low tolerance for cold or extremely hot weather. So location is always key. And I think, well, I definitely know what you said about resources from upper class members that have applied to ortho, got in, and using them as a resource. You all that are listening, watching, you got to use this resource. These are people that have gone through the steps and the process that you want to go through, that you will go through. Reach out to them. So I think that's definitely something that's helpful. And like you said, casting a wide net. That's a strategy. For some people, it may not be a strategy. It may be casting a more specific, targeted net based on location, preference, how many years the programs is, either whether it's 2 years or 3 years. Some people have a preference for that. And the size of the program. I mean, there's some ortho programs like the Georgia School of Orthodontics that have, 20 some positions, to other programs that maybe only have 3 or 4. So that's also uh, one of the criteria that you want to look at. So you submit your application, you got your list of programs that you apply to, and keep in mind some of the programs, most of the programs are matched. There are some not non-matched, but most of them are matched. Well, congrats again, man. I'm so excited for you. Staying home, so to speak, home base. What's the best way for people to get in contact with you if they have questions or just want to reach out and just connect with you now that you're an expert in this application and getting into ortho and matching into ortho?
Yeah, so my email is my first name and last name, Michael, Michael, and then Pyevich, Pyevich, and then the number 2 at gmail.com.
Got it. Ladies, gents, hope this has been helpful. Reach out to student Dr. Mikey. He's got a couple months before, about 5 months before he finishes up. So you better hit him up now, because guaranteed around May and June, when he's finished with school, he'll be starting reading that prophet book, right? The Bible of orthodontics. He will be reading that in preparation for his transition, which means he's going to be busy. He's going to be busy relaxing, but he's going to be more busy preparing for late June and July. So Doc, again, congrats. So very happy for you. Glad we were able to work together and get your application, more specifically getting ready for the interview, right? Acing the answers to the interview so that you speak the same language as the selection team, so that you definitely gave them every reason why to pick you, because you got picked, you got matched, which is great. So congratulations on your way to becoming a board certified orthodontist. And guess what? You guys too, there's a lot of resources to go check out on your journey. So go to the next video. Go to the next video. Go right now.